So here is a neuron. When learning happens, changes in the structure and function of this neuron will take place. The first change that can happen is the growth of bushier projections called dendrites. These dendrites connect to other neurons. So the more dendrite projections, the more connections with other neurons. The second change that can happen is the release of more neurotransmitters from the neuron. Neurotransmitters are tiny chemicals that cross the tiny gap between two neurons and cause an electrical impulse in the next neuron. They carry the messages between neurons. When learning happens, sometimes more neurotransmitters are produced and released by the neuron. So in the past, research on learning and memory has focused on these processes. However, a newer body of evidence is focusing instead on myelin. Myelin is a fatty sheath that covers the axon, or the long body of the neuron, and that speeds up the electrical message travelling down the axon. So myelin isn't actually around any neurons at birth. It grows over the course of the lifespan, especially when we engage in deep practice. Cells called oligodendrites hang around the neurons and wrap myelin around them. That's what I like to call the myelin wrap. So the more the neuron fires, the more myelin is wrapped around it. The more myelin, the more control the cell has over the velocity of its impulses. And the more control over this velocity, the greater the skill.